Good morning. Come on, I gotta get better than that. Good morning. Chancellor Sandler, faculty, family, friends, and of course graduates. I'm honored to share this milestone, life event, and proud occasion with you and your guests. I am also honored to hear for the wonderful introduction that Chancellor Sandler gave me. I assure you it is highly exaggerated, and most of it was said just to make my mom proud of me. So that leads you to ask the question, why am I giving this commencement address? I've asked that question probably about 100 times since I was asked, and my wife hasn't stopped laughing since I was invited. So therefore, I wish you luck and have a great day. Nah, come on, you're not going to get off that easy. I'm sure many of you, as well as I am in this day and age, are dying to get onto social media, so I figured we'd get it all out of the way early on, and let's get a selfie with me and the graduates behind me. How about it? Everybody up for it? So here we go. All right, so I'm going to get this side first. Come on, guys, everybody. And then this side. That's it. I got to figure out where I was. Not only is it a great honor to celebrate your graduation, but this commencement is special, as I thought it was going to be Chancellor Sandler's last one, but it's not going to be, and I'm lucky to have her around for the next few months. I have known Chancellor Sandler for more than 8 years and was very honored to be asked to address you today. She asked me to speak to you about public service and the positive effect you can have in your community and to you personally by volunteering your time and lending your talents. You have no better example than Dr. Sandler. She has given of her time to advance the Abington community and made sure that this campus was the partner and the agent of positive change in this neighborhood, this community, and the entire township. Karen is one of the best public servants I know. So now what? You're graduating. Some of you already have jobs that will allow you to jump in with the experience and education you earned here. Others are still looking for opportunities and even contemplating expanding your educational experience through a graduate degree. Either path you take will certainly be paved with challenges and rewards. Your efforts, your persistence, your commitment will be the final arbiter of the level of success you are going to have. And I am sure you will be measuring your success through the obvious career measuring tools: monetary, career advancement, and professional respect. But I challenge you to go beyond these tried and true barometers and seek out success through the means that are measured by the look on someone's face, by the appreciation of your neighborhood for your efforts to make it a better place, by the gratitude of a community for the expertise you provided in solving problems, and the feeling you get throughout your body as you contemplate the idea you can make a difference. I began making a difference early in my life, well before I could even consider any of the career success measuring tools. I was roughly 15, the same age as my children, Sammy and Rebecca, when I volunteered to work at a polling place in Northeast Philadelphia on Election Day. The candidate I was working for, who I knew nothing about, other than he was someone my parents were going to vote for, won the election. Although an accomplishment, that was not the difference I made. During the time I spent at the polling place in a retirement community, I spoke to many people, but it was particularly the residents of the retirement community where I believe my difference was made. Not a Martin Luther King type difference, but a difference nonetheless. All they wanted to do was tell stories, and since I did not know how to resist listening or have the gift I have now and have developed to gracefully remove myself from a conversation, I ended up listening. I heard stories of being in World War I, the Roaring '20s, life during Depression, and all of the worst politicians any of them knew, which was basically all of them. Not a great outlook for my future being in politics. I had my cheek pinched, my shoulder slapped more times than I could count, but it was the brightness in their eyes while they told their stories and the smiles on their face that made a difference. To me, the that's certainly a difference to them. That difference is the smile you left on someone's face. While studying architecture at Temple, I was selected to participate in the Philadelphia Foundation for Architecture's Architecture in School program. This program teamed architecture students and professionals together to teach about city planning, the built environment, and architecture to students in the public schools. I was very fortunate to be teamed up with Philadelphia's famous city planner, Ed Bacon. Father to Kevin Bacon, he was Philadelphia's city planner in the 60s and 70s, and the only city planner to ever be on the cover of Time magazine. He is responsible for the development of the Gallery, Market East, Jefferson Station, whichever one anybody remembers it to be, connecting commuter rail lines and creating the template for transit-oriented development. For an architecture student in the city of Philadelphia, it was like hanging out with LeBron James. Maybe not that significant, but close. I knew this was for the students in the public schools, but spending this time with Ed Bacon was inspiring and motivating. He was close to 75 years old when I met him, and he had more energy than me. He made a difference to these kids. He spoke to them on their level. He spoke to them on their level, was able to connect to them in a meaningful way. They were engaged and involved in the discussions about what made their neighborhood successful and what didn't. They understood how someone's imagination and idea can make a difference. They connected for some of them for the first time to their neighborhood and their community. They connected to the sense of pride and place. It wasn't until we were close to completing the program did I realize the magnitude of how he affected these inner city students. He made them look down and asked them to solve problems without turning a blind eye. He required them to look ahead and not to take the long path, but to meet the challenges in front of them. He told them to look up and dream of the ways their life and the life of those around them can be better. He made a difference to these kids, and he made a difference to me. I realized I wanted to share the knowledge, my energy, and experience for the benefit of my community at any chance I received. I wanted to make a difference by sharing my knowledge, and maybe someday I would inspire someone, maybe you, to do the same. That difference is the knowledge and energy you share. I graduated college in 1989 with a Bachelor of Architecture degree from Temple University. I continued to volunteer for the foundation as a professional and also sought other avenues to make a difference. I used my construction knowledge to assist in renovating homes for families in need and assistance through Habitat for Humanity. I taught young teenagers the cerebral side of baseball, the greatest game on the earth, by coaching Little League and Legion League baseball for several years. To this day, I run into former players, and it warms my heart to hear them talk fondly of the experiences, and I know I made a difference. Maybe not Nicole Hamill's Little League coach way, but I made a difference. For the next several years, I remained involved in many volunteer opportunities and met the love of my life through a blind date set up by our parents. I know, loser, right? We were married in 1996, and we're fortunate to have two of the best children. Well, maybe only one of them were the best children. I wanted to take a moment to address those graduates, some of you I've met, that accomplished this amazing milestone in your life while caring for a child. Be sure to tell the story to your children of your accomplishment and the courage it took to juggle the responsibilities and being a parent and a student, of being a parent and a student. That difference is showing your children and someone close to you that it's never too late to learn. It was soon after having kids that I met one of my favorite people, Dr. Andy August. Where are you, Andy? I see him back there. How many of you had Dr. August as a teacher? Come on. Nobody? There you go, Andy. I guess I can't even ask the next question. I was going to ask you what he actually taught because I'm still not sure. After I recovered from sleep deprivation from having twins on two entirely different schedules, I realized my children are going to learn from my wife and I. Scary, right, Andy? Learn about life, learn about right and wrong, learn responsibility, and learn how to distinguish between good and bad. All this was falling on our shoulders. Jan and I would need to figure out what was important and how to teach it to our children. Luckily, we both had great role models, our parents, all of which are successful in their own special ways. I was sure I wanted to teach my children the importance of volunteering, public service, and community involvement. Having purchased a house in Abington in 1997, and I began to build a network of friends and with my kids being in preschool. I had the desire to give back to my community, utilizing the tools Ed Bacon taught me: share expertise and your knowledge. I was appointed to the Abington Township Planning Commission, where I used my architectural background to review new development in the township. I loved it. So much I wanted to be involved in more. In 2005, I was asked to join the township's Comprehensive Plan Committee to develop the priorities, the visions, the proactive ideas that would guide township activity for the next 10 to 15 years. I couldn't get enough. The conversations and the imaginations of the ideas being developed in these meetings had the ability to reshape the future of Abington. I learned so much, I felt extremely fortunate to be involved. This experience made me a better architect, and more importantly, made a difference to the community I now called home. That difference is the feeling you helped reshape the future. In 2007, I was asked to run for Abington Township Commissioner. Politics, huh? I started thinking, people love me, and I love them. I'm a really smart guy, and I would bring all the smartest people to solve problems. And oh, wait a second, I got it. I'll build a wall around Abington, and I'll get Cheltenham to pay for it. After winning my first election, I dove in with both feet, trying to learn as much as I could about the inner workings of the township. I was excited because after having knocked on all the doors of my ward, and if everybody knows, this is my ward, and there's a lot of hills, a lot of long streets, driveways, I realized that there were problems to solve and residents needed help. Some were obviously more critical than others, but each resident thought theirs was important. From someone's house that flooded in each heavy rain to the resident that just could not get their trash picked up consistently. I incorporated my professional and business experience and started working on how to solve their problems. Once I realized the positive effect an active elected official can have on a community, I began to discover other issues that needed to be addressed. I summoned the most important lessons my parents taught me. Always ask questions, and don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. I used my understanding as a business owner to ask questions regarding the budget. I used my experience as an architect and a builder to ask questions about how the township requested proposals and selected contractors. I used my knowledge as a land planner to begin the long process of revisiting the township land use laws that will shape the future of all the communities in Abington. And I used my project management skills to challenge the township to work more efficiently and become more user-friendly to all township residents. And I used my moral and ethic ideals to effect change and have the township laws recognize that everyone needs to be treated regardless of political affiliation, sexual orientation, or economic status. With the collaboration of many working toward a common goal, I started seeing the difference I could make. I realized my success was solely tied to my career accomplishments, was not solely tied to my career accomplishments, but to how I have contributed to the world around me. That difference is selflessly advancing ideas for the greater good. And I challenge you to find the difference you can make. Recognize your role in the world recognize your role in this world goes well beyond career success, and give back to your community in any way that makes someone smile, a problem to be solved, a positive future to be built. You and your fellow graduates are the future of advancement and are responsible to make a difference. I hope you leave here today enthusiastic and excited about the possibilities. Be confident that the excellent education that you received here in Penn State Abington, you can accomplish anything. Don't let anyone underestimate or prejudge you before you have an opportunity to tell them your story and demonstrate how you can make a difference. Demand that you be treated fairly through poise and confidence, and fight against stereotypes and discrimination. And remember, your personal pathway to success has many routes and destinations. Just ask Waze. For these graduates that are the first in their family to reach this achievement, you are the trailblazers and the new standard bearers. Let future generations in your family know it can be done, and this opportunity is available. To Karen, you have been a wonderful partner to work with, and I am sad that you will be retiring in a few months. It is going to take a long time for the next chancellor to understand my sarcastic humor. I will miss our working relationship, but I hope I never have to miss our friendship. I thank you for the opportunity to give this commencement address, and I hope I have inspired you as others have inspired me. Good luck and congratulations.